Alrighty, what's going on, amazing people? I hope and pray that you all are just doing phenomenally well. So, on this video, I want to talk to you about one of the biggest mistakes. I wouldn't say the biggest. Yeah, it's one of the biggest mistakes that new investors make, especially when it comes to negotiating and getting properties under contract. All right. So, before I dive into it, please like, subscribe, share all of those amazing things. And then also check out the description below. I have some incredible events coming up, from 3-day virtual events to in-person events, a free boot camp that you can check out. But let's dive right into this. So, a lot of the times with new investors, especially when they are negotiating, they, for whatever reason, come up on their numbers, okay? And they end up getting these properties under contract a lot higher than deep down inside they know that they should. Listen, you need to stick to your golden formula. You need to stick to your numbers, okay? And I need you to stick to your numbers. I'll say that again. I need you to stick to your numbers, right? And I'll share a story with you briefly. So over the weekend, we had a property, and the we made our offer at 160,000 on this property. The seller came back and said they received a higher offer at 213. That is what, $50,000 difference there? And they asked me, could I come up on our offer? And I said, hey, unfortunately, no. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be close to that number at all in any form or fashion, right? In fact, I even encouraged them to take that offer. I'm like, well, if are willing to give you 213, that's way higher than I can pay, right? So you might want to go with them and take that offer. Literally the next day, they went with my offer at 160. Okay. And I just think that's important to know, is that I'm not trying to get into any kind of bidding war with anybody, right? I only want to work with people who are willing to work with me. And then more importantly, um, I'm I'm not trying to overpay. Like, I'm just simply letting the sellers know, like, hey, this is what we can pay. This is what we can offer. Because what ends up happening is that when you get into these bidding wars, a lot of the times you end up getting them under contract way too high. I can't find an end buyer for them. We end up having to terminate or renegotiate the contract, and it ends up just being a huge disappointment sometimes for both the seller and even myself, right? And so now at this stage, I'd rather just not do that. Does that make sense? I'd rather just stick to my numbers. If it's a good fit for us, great. If not, no harm, no foul. We'll move on to the next one, okay? But I've seen so many new investors start going back and forth, right? Like, they're terrified that they're going to lose the deal. So they're trying to say, well, if that seller can pay you 215 or 213, then you know what? I can pay you 215. And then you end up getting in this bidding war, and it's like, who are you even bidding against, right? I don't even know if that other buyer was a real buyer or a real conversation that they were having. So I'm not getting into that. And I encourage you not to get into that. Stick to your numbers, because you know what you can pay for these properties. You know what you need to get them under contract for, and then just go from there. So I hope this was helpful. I know this was really quick, sweet, and to the point. But yes, as you get this week started, let's stick to the numbers, and let's get some deals done. See y'all soon.